How do you know things are going great in Donald Trump's war with Iran? Well, the Pentagon is now reportedly sending out emails asking, hey, does anybody have any ideas on how to win this war? CNN's headline, quote, U.S. military asks troops for creative and unconventional ideas to punish Iran. Quote, military officials said the crowdsourcing style query was unusual over email. MS now has not confirmed that reporting, but I don't know what we expected to happen when Trump nominated a weekend Fox News host with a documented drinking problem to be the U.S. Secretary of Defense, but we got him. And so now we are losing a war with Iran, and he's sending mass emails asking if anybody in the military has any ideas for how to win. Hegseth also fired, among many other people, the head of U.S. Cyber Command, while now Iran appears to be hacking into the U.S. water supply in multiple states. We really do appear to be losing this war with Iran, and Hegseth's big idea appears to be testing all our troops for testosterone. Because sure, we definitely need more of that, more than we need Cyber Command. That said, if you're keeping track of who's doing the worst job as a high-profile former Fox News host in the Trump administration, it's got to be a race between Hegseth at the Pentagon and Jeanine Pirro at the D.C. U.S. Attorney's Office. The first sign that things weren't going great in Pirro's office was when grand juries in D.C. started refusing to indict the people Pirro wanted to charge with crimes. There was the guy she wanted to charge with felony assault for throwing a Subway sandwich at a federal officer. The grand jury said no to that. In a different attempt at a felony assault case, Pirro failed to get an indictment 3 times with 3 different grand juries. In yet another case where a grand jury refused to indict, a judge asked why Pirro's office wasn't dismissing the case, quote, out of sheer embarrassment and shame. Grand juries almost never fail to return indictments when prosecutors ask for them, but Jeanine Pirro's office has had to dismiss nearly a dozen cases when she was only 3 weeks into the job. Then Pirro tried to charge 6 sitting Democratic lawmakers, but a grand jury unanimously rejected that attempted indictment as well, and she soon gave up on that effort entirely. When a U.S. veteran burned an American flag across from the White House in protest, Pirro tried to have that guy prosecuted too, but that case also fell apart. As of April of this year, judges had tossed out nearly a dozen gun cases brought by Pirro's office. That's something federal judges in D.C. had rarely ever done before. And of course, there was the criminal investigation Pirro opened into the Federal Reserve Chair, Jerome Powell, which collapsed under the weight of its own absurdity within months. Now, of course, Jeanine Pirro has struck again in an even more embarrassing fashion. She announced with great fanfare about a month ago that her office was charging a man with damaging the reflecting pool that had just been renovated by President Trump. Pirro said that her office had evidence to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the man willfully destroyed property at the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. The arrest appeared to vindicate Trump's insistence that the problems with the reflecting pool were the result of vandalism and not just shoddy work by his no-bid contractor. But then on Friday, Pirro's office dropped the case against the man they had charged. They said in court filings that, in fact, yes, the damage to the reflecting pool was the result of the botched renovation and behavior by the contractor. That has made President Trump reportedly very angry. He slammed her decision on his social media site, and in the Oval Office today, he said she, quote, choked and folded like an umbrella. I was kind of excited to hear that because I don't know how long it's been since I've heard the president with a 3-syllable word. That was pretty exciting. But despite that, within hours of those comments from Trump, amid some reports that Trump was thinking of firing her, Jeanine Pirro arrived at the White House tonight. The New York Times reporting that Pirro met with Trump in the Oval Office, but she was not fired in that meeting. That said, anything could happen. Watch this space.